Now I'd like to talk about customization. There are certain things you can do to your shoes, especially if you don't like the way they came out of the box, to change up performance characteristics or looks or prolong the life of the shoe. So this is an example of a TC Pro that the customer wanted a red rand on. They had worn their shoe out to the point where the rand had to be replaced in its entirety, and they requested a red rand. That's one thing you can do. Looks kind of rad, huh? It's nice. It looks fast, like a Testarossa. It's a rad rand. And then in terms of performance, and no one here is claiming to make something better than what came out of the factory, but this shoe, the Mura Lace, doesn't come with the P3, which is the permanent power platform. That transfers more edging power to the toe of the shoe, and it also helps the shoe keep its shape. Customization. The last example I'll show you here is for performance and for fun. So this blue rubber, it's specifically designed for indoor use because it's non-marking, it won't leave black streaks on a wall, things like that. But it also performs really well. It actually edges quite well, and it's sticky. And it just kind of looks cool. Like if you want a blue sole, or if you want a yellow sole, if you want a red sole, you can have all that stuff. You just have to pay for it. Another customization you can perform on your shoe is the addition of a scum patch or a protective layer of rubber over the top of the shoe. It'll protect when jamming in cracks or climbing compression problems, toe hooking, things like that. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about shoe care, maintenance, and hacks. Okay, shoe care. Not every shoe salesperson, retail outlet, or even a website is gonna tell you how to take care of your shoes. There's a few things to really try to avoid with climbing shoes. First off, climbing shoes, modern mountain boots, running shoes, almost all of those components are assembled with glue. Those glues are heat activated when the shoe's assembled, so heat can also deactivate those glues, which is a bummer. For example, if your climbing shoe gets wet, either from deep water soloing or sweating a ton, make sure to dry the shoe out of direct sunlight, away from any external heat sources, and in the shade. Just let your shoes air dry. If you introduce heat in any amount over an extended period of time, you could start breaking down the glue bonds of the shoes, and then you'll have failure. And it's your fault if that happens. So heat is a big thing to avoid. Another thing is moisture. Excessive moisture can start breaking down glue bonds as well. So try to keep your shoes dry. If you sweat a lot, if you go deep water soloing, if you wash your shoes because they stink, just dry them out in the shade, away from heat source. Don't ever put your shoes in an oven, on a heater, near the fireplace, or in a dryer. You're gonna destroy your shoes. One other important thing to look out for, and understandably climbers, we play in the dirt. You want to avoid introducing debris, dust particles, dirt, chalk, talc into the shoe itself. Those particulates over time will work their way in between the many layers of the shoe, from the sock lining to the midsole to the P3 and even to the sole, and will start deteriorating the shoe from the inside out. So those are things you want to avoid. When you're done with your climbing session, whether you're outside or inside at the gym, take your shoes off. Don't walk around in your shoes. You're gonna wear the sole down. You're also gonna introduce a lot of dirt and debris into the shoe. La Sportiva is one of the few brands, and only climbing footwear brand that I know of, that's actively doing something to reduce their environmental impact. By making original spare parts and other proprietary tools available to authorized repair centers, La Sportiva has made the process of repairing climbing shoes, mountain boots, and approach shoes streamlined and a lot less wasteful. By providing repair centers with original spare parts, they are greatly reducing their cutoff waste. Prior to Sportiva providing us with original replacement parts, repair centers would have to cut soles for shoes out of sheets of rubber, which leads to all sorts of little scrap bits that can't be used for anything else. Resoling in that old school style is much more time consuming, and since a lot of the cost of resoling is labor, these spare parts drastically shorten resole time. If you take good care of your shoes and learn to catch your shoe in time before the need for a rand or other additional repairs, then you'll save money on every resole and you'll greatly increase the lifespan of your shoes. In general, shoes that are well taken care of can be resoled many times. Typically, a pair of shoes can maintain their performance characteristics throughout 2 resoles. After the second resole, the surrounding materials begin to get soft or baggy feeling, and they lose some of their out-of-box performance. But that doesn't mean you have to throw them out. You can continue to resole many more times, and you can use those shoes for warm-up shoes, backups, or as loaners for friends. But if you don't take care of your shoes by never inspecting them for wear, or if you consistently leave them exposed to heat, like the inside of a sealed car in Joshua Tree, for example, or if they never dry properly, then you might be lucky to get 1 resole. If you really don't pay attention, or if you're new and have underdeveloped technique, then you might destroy your shoes before you even notice. By not paying attention to the amount of wear you're subjecting your shoes to and pushing them too far, like to the point of no return, then you're essentially making your shoes disposable. And from an environmental standpoint, that's not cool. So pay attention. Learn to inspect your shoes after every single session. Learn how not to drag your toes when moving in between holds. Only time, increased core strength, and ridicule from your peers will help you achieve this. And always remember to treat your shoes like the high-performing piece of equipment they are, as if your life depends on them. In a lot of cases, it does. Now go climbing.